Rise and shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
Hello.
Hello, is that Danny?
This is Danny. How are you?
Hi, good, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for calling me. I love that my voice right now is in Australia, a place that I've always wanted to go to and will be coming to. So this is exciting for me.
Yeah, we are super excited about having you down under. And look, that was going to be my first question. Have you ever been here before? Because we're a pretty unique place.
I have not. I've never been to Australia, but I feel like I have a taste of Australia here in Nashville because of the church I go to. There's a lot of people that have, the pastor's Australian, and a lot of the people that have come came from Australia, either from Hillsong or came from Planet Shakers or from different beautiful ministries that are down there. And so, yeah.
Great.
So you've got an Aussie flavour in your church, but I bet you've got no kangaroos, no koalas, no goannas, none of the Australian wildlife.
No, well, we do have the kangaroos at the local zoo, but I'm not sure if that counts.
So we're looking forward to having you down under in July. Of course, doing a whole bunch of shows all around Australia, which we're really excited about. What can we expect from these shows?
Well, I mean, it's a night of hope. And, I think hope is something, we don't want to ever underestimate that word, right? Because there's so much hopelessness in our world. I believe it's going to be a night of refreshing. We need to be refreshed. There's just a lot of things that drain us in this world. And so, and that's what my music's about. That's what I believe that God has placed a call in my life to bring hope through music, entertainment, write songs that meet people where they're at, and that can just hopefully make people just level up and just feel renewed as they listen to the music and have a lot of joy while they're there.
Yeah, well, we play a lot of your music on Vision Christian Radio here in Australia, Danny, and you are very popular. But, you talk about finding hope in a challenging time. Can I ask, what's been one of the biggest challenges you've had to face in your personal life and how you found hope in that?
I think there's a couple things, right? If people know my story, unexpectedly lost my first wife after, just a couple of years of marriage, 4 years of marriage. We dated for 6 years, so 10 years together. And, what do you do when you pray prayers? You release your faith. You expect God to answer, and then God doesn't answer the way that you thought he would or that you thought the scripture would. And so you're kind of left with broken pieces. You're picking up the pieces and trying to figure out, wait, who's this God? I thought I had these certain promises to rely on, and my whole world's falling apart. But I'm just so glad I didn't lean on my own understanding, because there's a lot that we don't know as humans. A lot of times I think there's like this big catchphrase right now, this deconstruction thing, and it's a real thing. People are disappointed and people are walking away. But I think a lot of times people walk away too soon, not knowing the whole picture. And you think about the scripture, trust the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, right? How many times do we lean on our view of things when we know so little? And so that was one of many things. I mean, if people know me, I as a child, I had OCD, and I didn't know I had OCD. I just dealt with big fear, and I didn't know how to tell my parents. And so that followed me all the way to my 30s. And finally, like in my 30s, I tell people, because I just didn't know, like, hey, this is like this thing that I have. But by the grace of God, you overcome it. You don't realize a lot of things, that you just kind of pushed aside as a child, start servicing back up as an adult. And so I've had to walk through different storms, but I can say, but God, he's been faithful to deliver me through. He's been faithful to that Romans 8:28, that he's worked all things out together for my good.
So good, Danny. Amazing story, really. And looking forward to hearing more. We're going to take a short break now, but after the break, more from Christian singer all the way from the US of A today, Danny Gokey. You're on Rise and Shine with Andy and Shelley. Danny, before the break, you shared quite a story. You've been on a real journey. You've suffered real loss and faced real challenges, both as a Christian, as a man, as a husband. How has that journey that you've been on in life helped shape your theology and also impacted your music?
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to the music, it's come from personal experiences. Like, you think about the songs, I haven't seen it yet. I remember I walked into the room that day so discouraged. I wanted to cancel that writing session because I was like, man, I'm just not feeling 100% today, and I don't want people to see my kind of my wounds right now, you know? But I walk into that room and I just start pouring out my heart to these other writers, and all of a sudden we're penning a song that strikes faith and strikes a chord of faith in people. My music is it can be pretty raw, pretty honest. You know, Tell Your Heart to Beat Again. It's another song that just reminds people to, like, when your whole life is shattered.
Yeah.
You know, no pressure. I got a song called No Pressure for one of my albums, but it has to do with my OCD journey. I put so much pressure on myself. You know, when you grow up in a religious house and you feel like God is getting ready to dox you on everything that you do or don't do. Yeah. It kind of sticks that fear inside of you. And so I remember getting a revelation one time that, you know, dude, Christ paid for it. I don't have to pay for it myself. These little victories that I've gotten that I've written in the songs.
Yeah, amazing. And you've got quite a humble background, like you said. You grew up in a church family, but you were like working for a church, I believe, part-time, driving trucks the rest of the week, and then suddenly you come third in American Idol. You're singing alongside Lionel Richie. I mean, talk about a change of life.
Yeah, it was. And I'll tell you this, as I was a semi-truck driver, I probably was the most dangerous semi-truck driver.
Were you too busy singing while you were driving?
I absolutely was. I'm going to tell you this. One of my favorite stories is I was singing one time as loud as I could at the top of my lungs, and I looked over to the left, and the lady's rolling up the windows on her car. That was so classic.
Oh, what's a great encouragement.
You know that people... Yeah, little you know, people one day would pay to see me, would buy a ticket. I just think it's so... I must have sounded really bad that day, but, I mean, I passed my driver's test by 1 point. It was a different era in that day, and good thing I never killed anyone, but, you know, RIP to all the stop signs and light posts that I hit with my trailer.
That is awesome. Oh, Danny.
I'm sure all of your life experiences have really just contributed to who you are as a person and how you write your music and how you relate to your audience. And you probably worked this out already in Nashville, but Aussies are very real people, down-to-earth people, so they're going to resonate with you, Danny. We're so excited about you coming to Australia. And I just want to remind our audience now, you're going to go to Toowoomba, you're going to be in Brisbane, Gold Coast, Melbourne, Canberra, Sydney, and Newcastle. That is a legit nationwide tour right there.
Well, you're missing half the nation because we're still a really big nation, Danny. You'll have to come back and do the other half another time.
I will definitely come back. Let me tell you guys, I hear so many great things about Australia. I might not leave, okay? So I better be careful.
Yeah, we'll keep you.
I'm probably going to want to stay. Yeah. I love it.
All right. Looking forward to having you down under in July. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes to have a chat to us today.
Thank you, guys. I'm honored that you would even put me on the radio, so thank you.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.